let's take this bare cement wall and turn it into a French cleat wall. And here we go. The center of my new basement workshop is going to be these walls. On these walls is going to go my French cleat system. Now, I've never drilled into concrete before, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. But before that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my basement, because last year it flooded and that was a real mess. I had to clean out a whole bunch of black mold that had developed, and you might have the same situation here and you're not so excited about doing a full frame up on your basement when it might just flood again. So what I've decided is that I'm only going to build from the waist up. I'm going to be putting them here, and I'm going to be using Tapcons, 3 Tapcons per strip, 16 inches between the strips, putting them here, and then putting 4x8 sheets on the wall. The first step, I need 19 of these furring strips cut to length. So the next thing is I've put the locations for all the furring strips on the wall, and the furring strips all have recessed holes cut into them. So I'm going to be taking my drill, and I'm just using the drill that is actually included with the screws. The drill has to be a little bit deeper than the screws that are included. That's important, because you don't want the dust to build up at the end of the hole. So I'm going to just drill some pilot holes first. Just deep enough so I can see them. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish up. Okay, so other than being just really loud, it's not too bad. And then importantly, I've got to vacuum the dust out of these. So now I'm going to go ahead and put in my first Tapcon. Just get enough to locate it. That one's going right in nice and easy. Go all the way here. Now, thing is, you can remove these, but you can't ever reuse them. This is done. So one of the things that I was thinking about when I actually go to lift these 4x8 panels into position is, how do I hold them up perfectly? So what I came up with was the idea of having these little holders, which I could put at the bottom here temporarily. And then that way I can drop the panel here and it will hold the bottom lip in position. And then I can remove it when it's gone. So now you can see I've got a nice lip for that panel into place. After I got all the strips in place for one panel, I found that I needed to do a little bit of shims on some, so I just went ahead and did that. I even thought maybe I should have put some shims underneath these, but I think it's better that they get the full support of the concrete with the screw and just put the shim on top. Putting these pieces of tape here, and I'm marking the middle of where the furring strips are. Finally, I'm ready to get my panel in position. So I'm armed with my screwdriver and screw, and I'm ready to lift the panel into position. It's really tight on the top there, and I do need to slide it over. If I can slide it over to just the right amount. The holder's doing a good job keeping it in place though. Should have pre-drilled. In the end, I did about 60 holes, and what the results were I had about 5 that just snapped off in the wall. They're now permanently part of the wall. I just left those ones sit there. A couple of them I was able to get out before they stuck completely, but they wouldn't go in any further. The drill bits that I used, the best one was actually the one that came with the Tapcons. I also had some backup ones that I bought. I did try the Makita, which actually worked great, but unfortunately on like the 5th hole, it committed itself to the wall permanently. The Bosch, I didn't really buy the right one because this one is not for a hammer drill. And then the DeWalt I just never got to. Some of these are kind of on the short side too. That's one of the nice things with the Tapcon is that it's longer, which you really need that length. And then in terms of the drill, I had bought this drill quite a few years ago. It was just like a reconditioned corded drill for like 70 bucks, and I think that did great. This side view shows you the overall construction of the strip, the plywood, and the cleat. I got all my cleats cut out in the garage, and I went ahead and sanded all of the edges so that they're not splintery. And I got a little template here for the drills, so I can just set this up and be able to pop my drill holes consistently. I've also got, this is a tip I got somewhere on YouTube about putting spacer blocks up. These are 5 inches. The cleats are 3 inches. So I've got all of my cleats cut. I'm just going to start with the bottom one like I always do. I'm going to put it into this little clamp device. A little bit of a gap so that I can get dust to come down if I'm going to try to brush it or something. It's about 1/8 of an inch gap there. Perfect. So I'm just going to come over here, line this up. Looks good, so got to get my little helper thing out of here and line these up. I may add some more screws, but I'm kind of running low, and the most important ones are the ones at the very top because that's where the pressure will build. I'm finally done. I put all of the screws into the French cleats, and I think it looks fantastic. I'm really excited about this new French cleat wall because I think it's going to keep me organized, and that's going to make me a lot more productive, maybe for the first time in my life. So thanks for joining me on this journey.